Welcome to the TVMusic Network Podcast with Phyllis and Belinda. I'm Belinda.
And I'm Phyllis.
And today we're going to talk about American Idol.
Yay.
American Idol Season 19 or Season 4 on ABC.
However you want to say
However you want to say it. If you're old school, it's Season 19. If you are new school, it is Season 4 on ABC.
Season 4 on ABC, yeah.
So, Season 4, you're not going to find Carrie Underwood and Bo Bice in the finale. But because that's
Carrie
Season 4.
might make an appearance every once in a while.
You never know. Anyway, so we're just going to talk real quick. We're going to talk real quick, briefly, where we left off at. And then we're going to start with this past weekend.
Yeah, where it started and where it's going.
Yeah. Last time we talked, we were getting ready for Disney Week. Disney Week is over. Uh-huh. We lost Cassandra. We lost Deshawn.
Yeah,
I love Deshawn.
Like the top 9,
and we lost, Alyssa, and it became a top 7. So that's just to let you know that's what happened.
Yeah.
In case you were following this
and
podcast.
Arthur Gunn.
And you're... No, we're going to talk about Arthur Gunn in a few minutes. So that's where we were with that. There was also a comeback stage.
Right.
Where we talked about what was going to happen. When, since it's over and done, we'll make it real brief.
Yeah.
There was a comeback we talked about on our previous podcast.
And the person I wanted to win, didn't get the vote, but that's all right. She all right.
Yeah, she all right. She has a new single she just put out. So hopefully it'll work out fine. And maybe she'll audition next year.
Yeah.
For Idol, the year
She's
past.
very young.
We'll talk about that later too. Anyway, so they had this comeback, which we had mentioned, and I had said that I thought it was set up for these 10 contestants to come back. Only 2 of the contestants were in the top 7 that made past the top 7.
And I thought it was okay to let people know that life's not fair. It happens all the time. They do a nationwide talent search for people. And then when they cast the person, sometimes it's someone that you already know, someone who's been established, someone who just cuts to the head of the line and gets an audition. That's
fine. So as I predicted and said that last year's runner-up, Arthur Gunn was going to win. Arthur Gunn won. He came on the show. He started with the top. He started with the top 10.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at, top 7. Top 7 was Coldplay week. And it was Coldplay week and Mother's Day or special person dedication.
Right. And Chris Martin from Coldplay mentored the idols because they sang songs from the Coldplay catalog, as Ryan calls it.
Yeah, it was a Coldplay catalog. Yeah.
That's what they call it?
Yeah.
The Coldplay catalog? I'm like songs by Coldplay. It was Coldplay night.
Well, it's easier to say the Coldplay catalog than to say songs of Coldplay.
All right.
Anyway, doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't. Anyway, so Coldplay was there. So the first half of the show was the contestants being mentored by Chris Martin. And then the second half of the show was the contestants singing their dedication. So we're going to start with... Is it better to do each contestant talk about Coldplay than each contestant talk about the Mother's Day? Or just each contestant mention both things they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both things, get
it over with. Okay, so let's start with Casey.
Casey, yes.
Chris Martin worked with Casey. Casey sang Paradise.
I think she's a cute little girl.
And
she did really well.
And Chris really liked her, and he said, "Oh, let us know when to open up for you and everything else. Let us know when you want us to, open up for you and all that." And I think she did a good job on the Coldplay song.
Yeah, she has Alanis Morissette potential, Fiona Apple potential, another young sort of girl.
Yeah. It wasn't one of my favorite performances by her. It kind of lacks a little bit some at the end when she was doing it. And usually I see Casey, she's like fire, she's everything else. And it could be maybe she's just not used to singing that song. And that could be, and that I think could have helped in her contestants this week. One thing I liked about was that sometimes they need to be challenged to do something different. You only can sing so many songs.
Yeah, take them out of their comfort zone. But what I think, too, is like on some of them, a lot of Chris's songs, they're simple. You got the simple melody. You got the thing that's more for fun. It's not more for a vocalist to do belts and do runs and stuff. They have to change and kind of make it that way. And I don't know if Casey is the kind of person or the musician that kind of arranges her own songs, does her own songs. I think she works with a vocal coach or something for that, and her and Kristen do that in this particular song. I think that's what it is.
That could be what it is. But I think that's better because what I'm finding this year more than any year is that every contestant that we've talked to, they like, oh, I sang the song 1,000 times. Like they go on the show now and they're prepared with songs that they have sang 1,000 times. So I think it's making it easier for them through this competition.
2014.
And I think with the Coldplay, it kind of throws you because here's a song you may not be that familiar with, except for like Chase. And Chase was the only one that was like, I know your music, I know everything else, and that's it. But I think that's why I kind of liked having the Coldplay. It was kind of here's something you haven't done. You just can't pick out this theme, and you're stuck in the Coldplay catalog, so make it work. And I think she did a good job. Ironic, didn't sound like a Mother's Day dedication. It was a very odd choice. It didn't sound like a song that would be about Mother's Day dedication. I was waiting for. There was no clip that told you why they picked these songs. And Casey's a minor, so we didn't get to talk to her this week. So, but I thought maybe her mom's favorite song, since her mom's about that age, or some kind of way. Because Ryan usually will plug that in when you have no time. He did that a couple of weeks ago. He didn't say. So that's my only guess.
Their mothers were at home watching and went back and forth, but I don't know if there was anything that explained.
Well, her mom was with her. I thought that's it. I don't quote me on it, but I thought he was trying to get at that, but I'm not really sure because I know he made a comment. Do you know what she got you for Mother's Day? And she goes, yeah, chocolate strawberries. He goes, don't give it away. He was so surprised the mother, like on the air or whatever. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cute. But anyway, so that was So that was Casey. She opened up the show.
She did well.
And off she went. Chase then came out. Chase sang Magic. Chase knew the song. I think that helped him. He knew the song. He was a fan. He knew everything. It kind of worked good with Chris. Chris kind of liked him. They were talking. It was kind of like that worked his advantage because he was actually a fan of Coldplay. Because if you gave me the Coldplay catalog, I'd be like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to try to fix you,
Fix you.
So that was that. So that was Chase. And then his original song was called Mama. He wrote a song about his mom for the Mother's Day. It was a good song. Everything.
I think it fit the night.
It fit the night.
It's probably like the song best that fit the
Mom
night.
was on Zoom. She was crying and and all this stuff. And that was Chase.
And I thought him a good vehicle for his
I think it
original songs.
It definitely gave him a good vehicle. I think that really made him stand out this week. It was kind of a moment I think he needed.
He needed because last couple of weeks I
think he needed it, and I think that was the perfect time to kind of jump ahead. Do something original. So that was Chase. And I think Chris did a good job mentoring him and working with him. Okay, let's talk about Chris Martin for a second. I think he did a good job with the contestants.
I thought he did too.
I was thinking that.
Wouldn't mind having him come back next season at some point and do something a little
Come back
similar.
when you ain't got a song to promote and just,
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he did a good job and all that. I thought he did a good job. I thought he worked with them. He kind of, with the arrangement, he kind of was like on the piano, changing stuff, talking about stuff and everything else.
It'd be nice.
But then I remembered he was on that other show once mentoring. I had totally forgot about that. I was thinking, where did I see him talking somewhere before? And that's what it was.
I kind of wish sometimes that person would come. I mean, sure, during the live show, sure, doing all that stuff, but I kind of wish they would come, like, during Hollywood Week.
Yeah.
So they could see more people.
Yeah, let's get a mentor for Hollywood Week.
He could have been one of the people for duets. He also...
Well, I think they'd already had him booked for this album coming out. Coldplay has a new album. They performed their new song, Higher Power, and all that. I think that was why that was all time. I think that was booked before it all time.
Yeah, but it still would have been nice to see him in some other avenues, because I thought he did good, like you said.
That's sure, and he's he lives in LA most of the time, so that could have been come on down, Anyway, that was that. Okay, so, Willie was third. Willie sang Yellow for his song, and I thought that was probably one of his best performances.
Yeah,
I really liked it. Chris really complimented him. He was talking about the arrangement, and he's like, I don't know how to sing. This is the way you sing it. I like the way he did the stuff. I like that he didn't go overboard with the runs, because every song you can do runs every song, and I liked that he was a little bit lower, gave him something different to do. I mean, he sounded fantastic. I really liked it. Chris seemed to like it. Lionel really complimented him and said that an artist says you own the song, that's what you want to do. And I thought it was really good. I really liked it.
He did a really good job.
I had to play it back after to see. Sometimes you play it back and you think differently and all that. The judges, especially when we used to go to the studio to watch the show, there'd be times there were so many songs I think would sound so great. That's the one thing people always say. are they hearing the same thing we're hearing? There's been times you're in the studio.
Well, it sounds different.
And it would sound so good. And then certain people, then we'd come back home, and then by the time you get home and all everything, it's on because, it's playing the West Coast, so I'll have it on while I'm, doing it. Like, ooh, that'll sound, and I don't know if it's in the mix or something like that, but.
It's something with the mix, it's something with the band, it's something between live to tape.
Yeah, something's going on with the mix, because there was somebody that was on this week where the mix, it may have been Casey, that first one, the mix just didn't sound good. I thought maybe it's me at home, maybe it's something, I don't know. Anyway, so I thought Willie did a really good job, and Chris really gave him a good compliment. I like how he put out the selfie, because I always see that. When are you going to see this person again? You better get that selfie now. You're not supposed to ask. But I thought it was kind of funny. He goes, can I get a picture with you? Yeah, I'm sure Chris would have taken with everybody, but Willie was like, I got my phone. Yeah. They didn't take it from me. When am I going to see you again?
Thank you.
You may not be coming back for the finale. I have to get it right now.
He was thinking what we were all thinking. Oh, man, it would have been nice to get a picture with him.
And I wonder if they got back and someone said, oh, I wish I would have asked a picture. Yeah. Because normally when that happens, they mention him in a group. They're talking to him because of COVID. There's all this one-on-one thing and whatever. It looks like they were at the Grammy Museum. I don't know exactly where they were, but it looks like that's where they were, which is, two or some people, you were there by yourself. So it probably, would have been this big talk with Chris talking to everybody. But with COVID, everything's individually. So I'm pretty sure there's probably when they got back to the hotel, they probably were talking and then they're like, wait a minute, I can get a so-and-so. Oh, I got mine. It's going on Instagram on Sunday, Yeah. Anyway, and then the second song he sang was You Are So Beautiful.
Right.
Written by Billy Preston.
Billy Preston?
Yeah, Billy Preston, who's going to be going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yay, that was a very nice surprise. Very long overdue. If you don't know who Billy Preston is, Google it, because we don't have time today. I don't have time to tell you today. And he did You Are So Beautiful, which most people know by Joe Cocker. If you don't know who Joe Cocker is, you can Google him as well. Both guys are gone now, but that song lives on forever.
Yes,
and one thing about that song is I thought he did a really good job with it.
He did.
He did a really good job. I'm on the Willie train. I like everything Willie's doing. The only thing I want to see Willie do now is something upbeat.
Yeah.
Something more upbeat, more something, because he's doing all ballads.
Or do something out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, something out of his comfort zone. That's why I think Yellow worked. But he went with Yellow, which is still kind of slow as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear him do something. I'm not expecting him to be singing
Uptown Funk.
Yeah, I'm not asking for that. But just something with a little more. I don't want to say never too much, but it's a little more.
I was going to say the other.
Yeah.
Dancing in the
music. Oh, there we go. That could work. Yeah, just something. But then I think he might get too much comparison to that. But just something a little bit more upbeat. Right. Hopefully we'll get that. Or do it the night of the finale when the votes are already in, almost are already in, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
that is my only thing.
That is my only thing. But I think he sounds good. He sounds great.
Yep.
He and I like when You Are So Beautiful. He was able to carry the thing. He got a little emotional towards the end, and he still kept it going and whatever. And as I expected, he dedicated the song. Since they didn't say anything about the dedications or why, I asked, and he said he dedicated to his mom because that's the most beautiful person to her. They've been through so much.
Yeah.
He has been singing that song for a while, so that's just another song that he's been familiar with.
Right.
He knows it with, and that's what he's been doing. But I thought he sounded fantastic.
He did.
Once again.
Thought he was good.
Caleb. Let's discuss Caleb real quick. He sang Violent Hill and he sang Mama Said, original song about his mom. We won't critique those because he is no longer in the competition.
Right.
In case you haven't heard, we'll make it real short and sweet. He's a minor. We're not going to get many details about it because I feel sometimes with minors that you really should, I don't know. But then again, this is why sometimes I think minors shouldn't be on these shows.
Yeah, shouldn't be in the
or on social media. But I'm not here to give a parent lecture or anything or tell someone how to do with their kid because that happens sometimes. Which I kind of just did. But anyway.
Depends on the kid.
Sometimes I just think that kids in the... how I feel about kids' entertainment business. I think they should be 18 and over.
I do too.
I know you need that cute little kid sometime to be the little kid in the movie. Maybe let them do that and then go home. I don't know. I'm
okay with that.
I
think they're too young to be in a competition.
Yeah.
Or on live TV, or sometimes the pressures of that stuff can be hard.
Yeah,
I think sometimes they need to be 18.
But then again, there's some people that could be 18 that could have done something. And,
Yeah,
sometimes you
I said it
think,
depends
sometimes,
on the
yeah,
kid
depends on
and the
the
maturity level.
I should say depends on the person in general, no matter what age
Right.
they are. But anyway, long story short, Caleb is no longer in the competition. I don't know if he left the competition. I don't know
if he left or was asked to leave.
or was asked to leave. It probably was a little bit of both. I don't really know. We're not here to discuss it. The statement that was out was that he will no longer be competing on American Idol. That
Why?
was just I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say that's a statement because they really hasn't put out
a video surfaced on TikTok that was controversial, and a lot of people, the people who had seen it, or people were calling for him to be gone from the competition because what was on the video or in the video didn't fit ABC, Disney, anybody's standards. And there he goes.
Yeah. So if you want to look it up, you can go to Google. We wrote a story about it if you want to know what happened.
Yeah.
I like that too.
TVMusic Network.
If you want to read the story. But two things I want to say about it. The video he made when he was 12 years old, it's a racist type video. According to his mom. He's 12 years old. You look at the picture. It's almost a Snapchat. They kept saying TikTok. I thought TikTok wasn't out when you're 12. It was Snapchat. Was out with him, and it could be a person, friend, acquaintance. We don't really know. Mom said they were entertaining a movie. They're entertaining a movie. Okay, one thing he did say in his statement was he didn't say it wasn't me. He didn't deny it. He didn't say anything. He didn't say it wasn't true. He said it doesn't excuse it, or something kind of way he worded it. Because most of they do that, they go, so-and-so to me, I was young, I was immature, when these things happen to past artists and past, whatever, too. And people are going back and forth online, should he be kicked off, should he be not kicked off?
Not up to you.
Yeah. About 70% of people I read online were like, he needs to go,
Yeah.
There's another 30% that was like, he's 12 years old. Why are we criticizing this kid for what he did when he's 12 years old, whatever? The way I look at it is, you should know right from wrong, in my opinion. But people do stupid things all the time. He's a 12-year-old kid. Unfortunately, when you're in the entertainment business, there's consequences. There's consequences in real life, but I mean, in the entertainment business, this is a show on ABC produced by Disney. He can't continue in the competition.
Right.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with him in the competition if I was in the competition because it's an ABC's being a Disney family show. There's no way they could keep him in the competition. Mm-hmm. Even if they say, even if he apologized, it's okay, it's about that too. People are making a big deal about it, but you have to look at too. This has happened before,
right?
And there's been contestants that have been eliminated because of other lesser things.
Yeah.
So whether it's right or wrong, or whether you feel it's right or it's wrong, there's no way the ABC could have him in the competition.
Yeah, and it goes to my thing again.
Yeah,
life's not fair.
Yeah, life's not fair.
Yep.
So he says he's taking some time on social media. He's gone back to South Carolina. I'm pretty sure when he gets back to South Carolina, he's going to take some time off of the internet. Will he be fine? He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll go back to school. He'll graduate, all that stuff too. Will we ever hear from him again? It's possible he may make a record out in 2 years and come back and have a big hit. He may leave the music business and get married. He may do independent. We don't know.
Yeah.
He may go about his way.
So right now we're focusing on,
Yeah, he may. He may go about his way. So therefore, instead of a top 5, there will now be a top 4.
Right.
And there's a lot of questions.
Supposed
to go home this week. It's only going to be one. There's a lot of rumors they were bringing back other people. They were going to bring people back and all that stuff too.
On the Twitterverse.
And all that. And no one's coming back because why send 2 home when you could only send 1 and make it easier? Also with COVID, there's a lot of time you have to quarantine. They can't even bring somebody in. If you're in LA, they can't even bring somebody in because that's a real big stickler for that too. If it was only going to be 1 sent home, then nobody would have went home and they would have went to the finale with 3. But this week only 1 person's going home. That's the end. There's no other people coming back. There's no people coming back.
Yeah, but we will talk about.
But they will be back for the finale. Yeah. So that is Caleb. Arthur Gunn. Arthur Gunn did "In My Place" by Coldplay and "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner.
And I don't get the Simple Man because it has the word "mama" in one of the lyrics.
No, the words, the song "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, tell me.
Is a song about a woman talking to her son, and she's telling her son a bunch of stuff, and he's telling you what his mom
had told him.
His mom used to tell.
Like, my mama said this, my mama said this. Go on.
What
else did mama say?
Yeah, that's what the song Lynyrd Skynyrd is about. I don't think anyone else has ever did it for a Mother's Day tribute. It's been done on the show at least 3 times. I remember Kay did it. I remember Trent did it.
Casey could have done
and I think I remember, is it Jess? One of those. Well, I think it was maybe Jess. Well, it's been done on the show before. That's why I thought that clearance list or whatever else too.
Okay.
So that's why it didn't really fit Mother's Day. And even Katie, Katie goes, did Katie say this on the air or was it after? She said, oh, I was a little confused why you did that song.
Yeah.
But then, she's on the air. But then I realized when you said it, what's it about and what's it there and whatever. And then he did the song and it was Simple Man. It sounded okay. It sounded okay. It didn't knock me out.
Right.
But it didn't jump. It didn't
impress me.
It didn't impress me. But here's a situation I have. Good. I'm glad I saved that extra time to talk about Arthur. The Coldplay.
Right. Chris Martin.
Got an issue with that.
Right.
He did In My Place by Coldplay. Chris Martin told him the song. Everything else. Arthur has a habit of changing songs around.
Right.
He did it the week before with Remember Me. Okay, he changed Remember Me till you didn't even know the song.
Oh.
And John Stamos, who was the mentor that week, was trying to tell him about it. And he said, oh, I'd never seen the movie. That was mistake number one. John told him to watch the movie.
Said to him was, do it the way it was written as much as you can. Start the same way, then you can change it up or do a little bit. He completely ignored that whole entire thing.
Yeah.
All the advice he gave him and just changed it up the way he wanted. I'm thinking, I don't know. I think there's something about an artist, though, when you give a person your song or you let your song go or something. You don't change the whole thing. You don't change it.
No, you don't change it.
And it's such a beloved song. If he'd seen the movie, he would probably understand.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I was just ready.
Yeah. But he wasn't, some sentiment. But in that one, he wasn't sitting there with the songwriter. Here you were sitting there with the songwriter of the song, and you're telling the songwriter about how the melody doesn't work and everything else. Yeah. I thought it came out to me as being disrespectful to the artist.
I didn't like that idea.
I didn't like it, and Chris goes, and Chris was being very nice and polite. Nice. He's being very nice. He's being very polite.
That was the best part.
Maybe it didn't bother him. Maybe he did, and he was like, I'm being professional with this guy here. I've been doing this stuff for over 25 years. This is my song. Or maybe he just didn't really care. Maybe he just thought, oh, well. But I thought it was disrespectful to the songwriter. And I think, and the internet seemed to think so as well.
Yeah.
And Katie was asked about it.
Phyllis did.
Yeah, Katie was asked about it because Katie said, Katie called him on it in case I wanted to sing along, but we can't sing because you didn't change the whole song around.
Because, but I didn't know the melody.
Yeah, Katie and Lionel were like, we're here, you go sing someone's song, we're all ready to go, and then we can't sing because you changed the whole thing around. My thing was that if he didn't like the song and change the melody, why didn't he do it faster? Or why did he do it slower?
Yeah, not change the whole
thing.
And
if that's his thing.
He slipped some words, some different words or something.
Yeah, adding words to the song. He had, Simple Man, he did it like the record.
No, but I mean,
he added it in My Place. This is not, you're not rewriting the song. If you're going to do that, and I made her think about our last thing about David Cook and flipping songs. If you're going to flip it, you should have did it slower.
He's the master
or
of that.
You should have did it faster. Yeah. But to go changing the words and doing everything and adding your stuff to it, that would have been acceptable. And then if that is your thing, and you change songs, you arrange songs, and that's just you, then why didn't he do an original song for that's why I was annoyed. Why did he do original song for the Mother's Day dedication? Then you could have flipped it to any way you want because it's your song.
Rub it down.
You didn't do right then. Yeah. I got the BD reference. But why did he do an original song?
I don't know.
That would have been it. This is your thing. I changed songs. I like the arrangements. So if you're sticking by that's your thing, that's what you do.
Right.
That's what you do. Then you should have did an original song. Should have left Simple Man alone, and you should have did your own original song because you say you do original music. You should have made a song for your mom. You should have did it, and then we could have saw you change the words and put your Arthur on it and everything else. And the judges have been really, really nice. That's just what you do. That's what you do, Arthur.
Do you think that's why he's not
you so and so. And then this time they were kind of like, oh, you know what I mean?
Well, I know
and Katie mentioned it. She mentioned it this time.
Well, because you mentioned it the first time. And then
they didn't mention it first time. They were like, "Oh, you're so good. Oh, you got fans."
Listen,
yeah,
you mention it once, or it comes on, Twitter feedback, whatever feedback. It happens once.
Yeah.
You take that feedback,
which is what they did.
And then you say, "Oh, okay. Let me grow. Let me learn. Let me, there might be some consequences for what I did, whatever." To me, it seemed like, in just my opinion, the whole thing went over his head. It's like
that's true.
Any criticism he tried to get from Chris, from maybe some of the producers, vocal coaches, I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
But then Katie on air, Lionel on air, even Luke told Arthur, there's some singers here. There's a lot of
talk about that, yeah.
There's some really, really singers here. That's telling him that he needs to step up on his vocals.
Yeah.
Step on his runs, whatever. And he's seeing a vocal coach, I'm sure, like they all are.
Yeah.
Or mentors. He should be doing more than what he's doing. We've heard him all last season with a Simple Man, guitar. And I'm not saying Simple Man the song.
Yeah.
Just very simple, already guitar, old-fashioned nature, all this kind of stuff. It's the change it up a little bit thing. Mm-hmm. Take it a little bit out of your comfort zone. And I feel like he's not doing that.
Yeah.
Or
and like I said, you could change it out of your comfort zone. No problem with that, because I always say flip a song. But when you have the songwriter there, my thing, he could have said, "Chris, is it okay if I do a little bit faster, a little bit slower?"
Yeah.
Because he had his chance to do Simple Man. Then when he did Simple Man, he played Simple Man like the record.
Do anything you want.
He didn't change it and switch it. I'm like, then why were you sitting there battling with the mentor? You had a mentor who was mentoring you this week. Why are you battling like you kind of battled with Johnson? Why are you battling with the mentor on picking the song? Oh, that just kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, me too.
And I just thought you had your chance. You had your chance to do it with the second song.
Yeah.
And so you didn't do it.
He had all these chances last season.
Yeah.
Now he had chances this season. I was okay with it.
And then Luke told him, like you said, Luke basically said, it sounded like to me they were gun-ho, Arthur come out, this is the best twist ever, this is going to be good, this is going to be good. And then when he got there,
you're like, oh.
When he got there, it sounds like, oh, nothing was different. I expected him to be so different or so something. People on social media were like, that's what he does. This is great. We love him. That's Arthur. Well, he got excited when he was there. And it isn't like I liked him last season. Mm-hmm. I was a little annoyed when he came back on this season, but I thought I'm not going to hold that against him because that's not his fault. He jumped on an opportunity that he got that 9 out of 10 would have did.
And he got a single out of it.
And he got 9 out of 10 would have did the opportunity. So my thing is, why don't you just come back, so let me give this guy a fair chance.
If you had been invited to come back, what would you have done differently? I would have taken my place the way Chris Martin wrote it. Yeah.
And then 2, I would have been doing Simple Man, because I'm here to sell, I'm an original artist, all the stuff. I would have had a song.
But maybe
maybe someone could have said, save your song for later. Maybe someone said something else too.
The original songs weren't good enough, so they gave him.
Well, his original maybe the producers didn't think his original songs were strong enough because he has an original song which is out now, and he's not a writer on that song.
Right.
So I'm more than Hunter is. He's not, and Chase is a writer of the song. Mm-hmm. So right then it kind of tells you there.
The songs weren't up to par.
Or maybe, I shouldn't say up to par, but maybe he didn't like them or didn't want them out. Or maybe the producers and all that didn't feel the show, the producers, all that stuff. I shouldn't say up to par because maybe he felt they were, and I don't want to really say strong enough because, I want to say maybe the producers didn't think it was the best song for him.
Right.
And so they went with this song.
Yeah.
Like that too. And even in that case, the producer of that song made a comment that he wanted to change that all around or whatever else too, and that was debate. So I'm like, so now we have 3 different people you're debating with here.
I know. But he's going to get dangerously close to difficult to work with.
Yeah, and you don't,
he's got a strong opinion, and a strong opinion is fine, but every once in a while you got to be like, you know what, I will just listen to this, but then I'm going to always speak my mind. Or say how I feel and whatever, because it's a collaboration, but maybe sometimes it wasn't a collaboration.
And and trust me, you have to compromise.
Yeah.
There's okay, unless you are once you become
unless you come in.
Once you
Ariana
become
Grande, yeah.
once you come in, you're Stevie Wonder. Right now. You may not have to compromise. If you come in your part, but if you're some new singer, they don't care how old you are, how young you are.
Right.
If you're working with the producer, they're going to bring you producers that have established records, and they're going to play you 10 or 12 songs, and they want you to pick one. And you may not like any of those songs.
They're going to say, who you listen to? The one who's on the radio right now?
Or what you have. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're lucky if you're lucky if you get to write a note or two on that song, and if it comes out, they're like, well, we have 35 artists already we're working with, and we have 1,500 trying to get in the door. So you don't want to be that, I worked a label, you don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Whether it's your fault or not. Sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes you just hate all these songs, and you're like, oh, I got to compromise, and, they go, okay, well, anyway. So that was, if I spent enough time talking about that, but I had to get that out because that just annoyed me. Anyway, Chase. No, not Chase. Grace. I look at my notes and I'm like, who is Chase? Is he in the competition? Then I thought, wait a minute. Am I getting him confused? No, I'm not. It's Grace.
What's Grace?
It's my G and my C. Grace.
That could be a sitcom.
Okay. Let's talk about Grace. When the list of songs was released by Billboard magazine, they had the exclusive of the songs they'll be singing this week. It's the Coldplay songs. And I said, no one's doing the Sciences and no one's doing Fix You.
Yeah.
There's no way no one's doing the Science and no one doing Fix You. But then I thought, oh, I know what happened. 3 people went home.
And one
of those two had Fix You and the Sciences. Guaranteed. Because a lot of people think they pick these songs when they go on Monday. No. They pick the songs in advance. And the only reason your song gets changed or whatever is if someone left the competition. Now you can go after that song. So I'm more than positive. I'm more than positive that Alyssa.
You have a pretty good guess.
A guess. Sorry, I should say guess because I don't have confirmation on this.
Pretty good guess.
I have a pretty good guess that Alyssa was gonna sing "Fix You" and Cassandra was probably gonna sing "The Scientist" or vice versa. That's what I'm guessing. I can't picture what Deshaun was going to sing. I should DM and ask him what he's going to sing. I'm pretty sure that's what happened because Grace had him, and she's like, oh, I want to do this song. And then all of a sudden when she got there, she's like, I was kind of thinking of Fix You. I'm thinking, if she was thinking of Fix You because somebody went home
she could sing her ass off
and she knew she could kill it because there's no way if you're doing the Coldplay catalog. I mean, every time you watch a reality show or a singing competition, someone sings that song every season. Right. It ain't going to change on Coldplay week. So anyway, people were wondering about that.
That's what happened.
That's your answer. Because I usually try to ask the contestants what Coldplay were you going to sing next week,
right?
And I didn't ask.
When you interview them,
after the show. I didn't ask. And I was going to ask what songs Anyway, so she was trying to decide what she should do, and she goes, I don't know about that. And Chris goes, oh, maybe you should do it and whatever. Let's work on it. That was kind of cool. He kind of worked on it with everything else, and people were like, he helped her get a better song. And then they go, what's she going to sing? They kind of put the little Pam, what's she going to sing? And then she sang Fix You, and I thought she did a great job with it. She sounded good. Mm-hmm. I thought it was sounded awesome. I think that was a better pick for her. I think it was a better fit for her because I think when people know that song,
but I think
you got people in America who are watching the competition that aren't the biggest, that don't know Coldplay's Cal, but they know that song. Like,
and the thing that's hard about it too, and I never liked it, and I would not like it to this day. I don't like the live coast to coast thing.
No, I don't like that at all.
Where you're in California, we're here in Los Angeles, so the show's coming on live, but it's coming on live at 5:00.
Yeah,
and then we have to vote during that time of the show, and by the end of the show, that person's gone.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
It needs to be later or tape delay. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Tape delayed, as in the way they used to do it on Rising Star.
No. No. No.
I still can't believe they would do it.
Oh.
And then they would finish the show.
On ABC.
It was on ABC, so we could talk about it. Yeah, we'll keep it short.
It was a music competition show, and they did it live at 3 different times on 3 different coasts. Kinda. I can't even really explain it.
Yeah.
But by the time they got one person voted off, or that person got voted off on the East Coast, but there's a possibility that person could come back if they had enough votes. When by the time the Central Time people were voted, the Mountain Time people, and then the LA people, it's like, forget Hawaii, you're just out. Mm-hmm. You don't have any choice because
we can't sit her all day. Yeah, we can't sit her all day. Yeah,
but it was just weird, and I'm like, why not just have an overnight vote?
Yeah.
And flip it, but they didn't have enough time. Or just do it like, here's who you voted off last Sunday. Okay, goodbye. Give me more time to vote and get to know people. So that's why I think, too, when you think of Coldplay, or when you think of some of these people, when you do that live coast-to-coast vote, some people, you're going to get your fans that voted with you from the competition, all that kind of stuff. But if someone's come in with a Coldplay song or with a Mother's Day song, or they didn't think it was strong, they're voting just based on that performance.
Yeah. Which
is kind of good. But if I'm here in LA, I'm out, for brunch with my mama, whatever, I don't have time to vote. Mm-hmm. I'm not at home. I didn't watch it. So when I come home at 8 o'clock, voting's already done. Voting's already closed when I buy it. That's the one thing I don't like about the coast to coast. But I don't know what the solution is in order to fix that.
The solution would be, and it's probably harder with COVID, the solution would be to do an overnight vote, and you find out Sunday morning, Sunday who is being sent home.
Yeah.
And who's saving. I know.
Tell us.
It would be weird, but the funniest part about Rising Star was that it would come and go off the air, and one day we were there. And we were leaving, and there was like 3 people in limbo who don't know if they're there or not, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we're leaving there one day, and the 3 people were sitting like on the bench or something.
Yeah.
And I made a comment to one of the people, and I said, "Oh, so you guys get to go back to the hotel?" And they go, "Oh no, we have to stay here and wait for the vote to come in." I'm like, "Wait, excuse me." I'm like, and the lights are going off.
Well, maybe tell them. Okay.
The lights were going off at the studio. The security guard was like, they're all leaving, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. So I went and said, they can't be right. So I went and asked them, and they go, "Oh no, we wait here with them until all the votes come in on there, and then." We do that, and then we tape that part, and then we show that the next week, the beginning of the show. So that person knows that so they know they're kicked off, and they go home. And they could do that, though. They could do the vote in real time, and then everybody go home. It's just hard to do. Yeah. If you don't have 2 nights, if you have 2 nights, you could do it. If you have the coast to coast, the way they did it last season or with the other season before, they just showed you to begin the show. You made it. But with COVID, they can't put us in around all week if they made it. No, or they could do the comeback. Because with the comeback, they told the person. Yeah. They told the person, and that person took off, and then he came back. They didn't. The people, those top 10 people, they didn't come back to stay on the stage and told to go home. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of.
Or that's when you do the...
But that was the funniest thing about...
Or that's when you do the live Zooms.
But that was the funniest thing about the Rising Star, which they said was a hit in every other country, just didn't make it here. And then the other thing about that was when we picked the winner of the first episode. No. We picked the winner of the first episode. And then they had 4 different groups, and you saw one group a week. So it was like a month later before you saw these people again. So you kind of forgot about these people.
NBC's having new competition.
You forgot about these people. Anyway, so
we were on Grace.
I don't know how we got a Rising Star, but
you got on Rising
sorry.
Star. I got on Coast to Coast live voting.
Okay, that's how it came up, and I brought an example with the Rising Star. Anyway, we probably are giving more attention to Rising Star than it did when it was on. So okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, Kesha.
So great. That's it. It was Kesha. And Brad Paisley and Ludacris. And Josh Groban was the host. Oh. And they were very nice. Oh. They were very nice.
They were very nice and very talented on a poorly...
They were very nice, very talented judges, and they did press and everything. Anyway, Grace. So then Grace, her second song was When We Were Young by Adele. She sang that. That was her Mother's Day dedication. The reason why she picked that song was because that's her mom's song. Like they sang that song since it came out. Her and her mom, bombed by that song. It's like their song. So I thought that was kind of that's why she dedicated to her mom and all this stuff too. And so that was why she picked that song. I think she did a good job. It wasn't my favorite of her singing it.
She sung much better.
It was
and she's had different songs.
Yeah, I like to hear her sing Chasing Payments.
Always...
I would love to hear someone sing Chasing Payments by Adele on any show.
I was going to say Adele.
Yeah. And then again, I also want to hear Adele sing it. Yeah.
I like Grace. I think she has been doing good with the different kinds of songs. She's changed it up a little bit from her auditions to this to that. And she's proven that she can sing the big diva songs.
Yeah, but I like what Fix You. Mm-hmm. Or was it when she didn't do the whole crazy? I think her and Willie both had a little change because I think people were saying that she was getting predictable too. Besides Happy,
yeah,
I hear a lot of that. Yeah,
her was Into the Unknown.
Oh, that's
on Disney Night.
On Disney Night, she just put them on a whole nother level. God. You saw everybody else. I think she was like second to last, and she just was like,
she was so good.
Everybody else. Watch out, I'm here. And I've had friends who don't watch American Idol. They only watch it for Disney Week, and they were like, this woman just put everybody, who was she, and just chased everybody out of the competition.
I think she'll have a pretty good
And that was her point. I hope so. That was her point.
Yeah.
So that was Grace. And then last was Hunter. Hunter did
I'm like, Hunter. Okay.
Hunter, remember him?
Yes, I remember him.
He did Evergrowth Coldplay, and then he did his original song for his mother called The River.
Right.
Mom was the other one crying, carrying on. He did that song, and he was the last person.
I thought his originals were good.
So then we went, his original song was good. So then we went to real-time voting, and real-time voting came with our results. It was the top 5 making it, and the top 2 was going home. So advancing to the top 5 was Casey, Chase,
right,
Willie, Caleb, and Grace, and Arthur and Hunter went home. And people seem to be very, very shocked that they both went home. People thought for sure Arthur was going to make it. People thought for sure Hunter was going to make it.
Hoped. They didn't think for sure. They hoped.
Okay, they hoped.
Yeah.
People. I was a little surprised that Arthur went home. I was a little surprised that Hunter went home. But you knew.
Honestly, I wasn't.
At this point, as we said, it's going to get harder every week.
Yeah. Sunday
will probably be the hardest because you're one step close to that finale, and it's only one person going home.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It could be the real-time voting.
That's what
at this point. It could be what order you. Okay, back then we used to call it the pimp spot.
The quality of the songs too.
Your overnight position, and they kept it the same. They didn't switch the order around. Hunter played last. Could that have hurt him because he played last?
No. And
you barely have any time to vote. Although the voting starts at the beginning of the show. Are you going to vote for someone before you hear them sing?
Yeah, but I didn't think that his song or his performance of his songs, his 2 songs, were as strong as some of the other people.
Yeah, it didn't stand out to me.
Yeah,
it didn't stand out as much. It wasn't bad, but it's not. My favorites were Willie and Grace.
It's a real competition now.
My favorites were Willie and Grace this week, and that's what it is. So now we have 5 people. We have 4 people left. Who do you think? Okay, as this is what we talked about. Ryan said the voting was really, really close,
right.
And I asked the judges about that, and they were like, everybody can sing now. At this point, you have your favorites. Everyone can sing.
Okay, I keep flipping back and forth.
You just have to do something that we know you can sing, but what makes me want to watch you, follow your career later? What makes me want to, see you later? Yes, and that's what Luke said. And Katie was like, you got to show something. You got to do something because everybody has their favorites. I like everybody, but who are you really going to vote for? And Lionel basically said, he calls it they want to visit you. They go to counter, they want to see you forget the words. They want to hear K-Tech, but they want to forget.
They're already invested.
They're already invested in you. I say, that's how they said it. I say, who are you going to go to the Roxy and see? Right. Who I'm using for us being in LA?
Stand in line?
Who are you going to go to the Hotel Cafe and see?
Yeah. Who are you going to stand at the bar trying to get a drink, all this kind of stuff to go and see?
Who are you going to see at the Microsoft does a thing with like 4 or 5 artists, and this American Idol person is playing first.
Right.
And you got to go downtown and get there by 6:30, and they're singing for 15 minutes or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
8 minutes and 53 seconds.
You have to go back home.
Are you really? Who are you going to go see? That's what I think it comes to. Yeah. And then some, you may not going to see any of them. You may not gonna go see them, but you like them.
Yeah.
You're watching the show, and you're like, oh, I'm voting. What's one of our favorite shows? American Idol.
So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna want to see them present on the American Music Awards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna want to hear them go on to Ryan's show when they have their single and promote it. I'm gonna want to see them in a commercial.
So that's that's where it's gonna come to. So who do you think has the lead right now?
Okay. I go back and forth.
Okay.
I think it's Willie one week. I think it's Grace one week. This the past week I think it's Grace. The second week I think it's Willie. Like this week, the Mother's Day week, I think it's Willie. So it's Willie to me. Grace with the runner-up. This is the hard part. Casey, because she's a little like rocker girl, and Chase. But the thing about it is, this is who I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Grace that's going to win. Willie's going to be the runner-up. Chase is going to be number 3, or maybe number 2, back and forth, and then Casey's going to go home.
Okay.
But see, it's that close that I got different scenarios for different things. I haven't heard they each have singles. Chase has an original song, correct?
Yes.
And then I don't know if the other 3 have original songs, if they were involved in the writing or anything other songs.
No.
And I haven't heard them. But based on what
we'll talk about those in a second.
What they've already sang and what they've already done, I feel that they're probably going to be good and they're going to buy. And it's back to like what Idol used to be.
Yes.
They're having Phineas O'Connell, who Billie Eilish's brother, who is her, songwriting, producing partner and everything. He's the mentor and the producer this week, right? And there's some other people, some other productions or stuff who have it, but they have a single. I think that's really great. And you said the top 7 all have singles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're out available
The top
now?
7 all have singles. 6 of the songs will be out, are out now. You can get them on all kind of downloads, all downloads, including that includes Arthur and Hunter.
Yeah.
They won't be played on the show, but they won't be played on the show, but they're there.
But see, it's a toss up for me because I think that this is a good top 4.
Yeah, it is a good top 4.
Yeah,
it's a very good top 4.
Yeah, any one of them could probably win. I know it's not fair.
I'm surprised it's a good top 4.
Yeah,
people kept leaving and all that. And I thought, wow, it turned around and ended up being a good, decent top 4.
But then it seems like not all the time, but most times, the person who wins is a white guy who has a guitar, and that's Chase.
Which is why we can't
rule him out.
Which is why, like I told you a couple weeks ago,
the voting habits of people.
Yeah, when I told you two things. I think Willie has it at the moment. I think Willie's going to win.
That's what I said.
And I'll tell you why.
This week it's Willie. Last week it was Grace.
I'll tell you why. I think Willie's going to win.
Okay.
I think Grace is going to come in second.
Yes.
At the moment. Chase and Casey, it's a toss-up. It depends on how they do on Sunday. Because we have the club. And I really, really like Casey. So I really was like, come on, Luke, get Casey in there. We need a girl rocker to win.
I would be okay with all 4 of them getting signed because they're all 4 different types of artists.
See, I would sign all 4 of them.
Types of people. Yes.
I would sign all 4 of them.
Yep.
If you want to, if you're worried about money and you're worried about so and so, sign them all for a year. We got 1 year. This time, next year at the finale.
Willie, Grace, Chase are good to go.
Yeah.
Casey is probably good to go too. I just don't know. I have to hear her single and see how she goes. I would develop her for 6 months.
Yeah.
Get her going. And
then that's it. Yep.
I would work them in. Okay. Are you listening 19? Are you listening Disney? Are you listening Disney Radio? Here's what you do. There's going to be a show on called Queens with Eve, the rap girls, the rap show. Work Willie's song in there some kind of way.
Yeah,
when that show
yeah,
comes
exactly.
On the fall. Get Chase and Casey maybe to present at the American Music Awards. It's going to be coming in November.
Yep.
American Idol, blah 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 blah. You get Chase to present with an established country person or an established indie person or something like that. Have Casey, if they do or not come out, get her on the Goldbergs. Try to get her on. Do those cheesy little cameo appearances that nobody likes and put them on. Then
they need to be at the Radio Disney Awards if that happens this year. They did that before.
That's exactly
they need to be at the MTV Awards. Although it interferes because it's going to be the same day as the show, but depending on time. But MTV Awards.
MTV is in September.
Okay. No. The MTV Movie Awards, which is this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They need to be at the People's Choice Awards. What's that show called? They used to do it when it was on Fox. The Teen Choice Awards. Casey needs to be there.
Yeah.
She needs to be coming out. Okay, she needs to be presenting an award.
That's what I'm saying.
With what's her name for Grey's Anatomy. Or one of the ladies of Grey's Anatomy in a show.
That's what I'm saying.
And somewhere else. They need to be, basically, Luke and Katie are going to Vegas and they're doing residencies.
Yes.
9, typically on a residency. And Lionel Richie's even coming back to make up the dates at the Win.
Mm-hmm.
Typically there's no opening act.
Right.
Okay, and they used to keep it that way because it's whatever. Put them outside or in the lobby,
in the club,
or somewhere, signing autographs, get the crowd hyped up. People are going to go super duper early and get some drinks. Put Casey up there on the side of stage. It won't bother Katie's thing. It won't bother Luke. Get Chase up there. It won't bother Luke's stage. Have them open up. Yeah. Have the three of them come out and sing a song with Lionel. Kind of cross promote them with the judges. Yeah. You know, people do that. Take these people on tour. Have them outside. Okay. When iHeartRadio comes, Ryan's always there. Yeah. Have them at iHeartRadio. They have that thing outside in the hot heat in Vegas, and it's all these local artists.
Even if they don't say anything. You know, they have
the
cast
they're there.
Nancy
They
Drew,
can see.
Yeah.
You have all 5 of them there, or 4 of them, and they see. You go, here you go. You're American Idol finalist. Woo!
Yeah.
And then Casey comes with, rock out, so-and-so comes with the guitar. Okay, they could do it all together, like that American Idol tour they did with Caleb, and I was like, oh my God, there was no band, and they had them playing instruments, and they were playing for each other, and I thought, I could have got them a 4-piece band. Come on, people. Why did someone tell me? Anyway, and then they could do that. Mm-hmm. But I think that ABC needs to push them into the promotion. Yeah, or 19. And I'm also wondering, someone asked, wonder if they're working with Interscope. Because if they're working with Interscope a little bit along with Disney, since they're all...
What label
I think they're all...
these singles on?
I haven't looked at the paperwork that far, but I don't really know. Because there seems to be a lot more promotion. Okay, one thing I noticed, all the pictures and all the fonts were different. They actually took us some time with their pictures. Usually the fonts are all the same. They throw the person's name. And nothing changes. And they put some work into it. And the fact that they went into a studio with named producers and record this early, and now they're out already, so you're kind of getting used to it. Now that the video just came out with the lyrics, you can read it. It's a little push.
All the time. I'm like, I wonder if Katie gave up like
2 years
this year. Says,
2 years.
Take that $2 million and put it into the development of the kids.
Why 2 years after? 2 years ago, they had the single come out, but it was kind of like after it was over. Yeah. They all put out their original single, except for Arthur, who had no single. He was the only one without a single. And
last year, to me, is that asterisk year.
No, I'm
talking the year before.
They put all their last singles out. Okay,
I'm sorry.
There. Last year, when Lane was there, it was original songs. They all had original songs.
Right.
And they had them all out, but it was all the same font. It was just on the video. You could buy it or not buy it and all that stuff, too. Then last year, it was your single, which was all cover tunes. Right. And everybody had one, except for Arthur. I think that was the issue with the whole, I think we talked on our podcast with the whole clearance. John Fogerty. Yeah. It's John Fogerty and then... Probably heard it. And CC and Clarence Clearwater. That could be an issue. We never really found out, So that's that. But see, they're putting a lot of more work into this. And I'm wondering, are they developing it? Are they trying to make a star? Because when you look at it, Maddie had a little bit of success, but they never released her record. Her record only came out digital. It never came out for a final. I don't think they even tried to really promote her like they should have. It started off, she was at Radio Disney, she was going to those places, then it kind of faded away. And then, tour and all that. And then last year with,
because of Kelly.
And then with Just Sam, Just Sam is no longer on the label. We suspect that for a while, but she actually did an interview and said she's no longer on the label. She's no longer on the label, and she won't be coming back to the show. So we won't see her this week like we usually see the person come back. Lane will be back. Yeah. So Lane is the only current winner on the label.
Yeah.
So he will be back. He's singing a new song.
And he's like one of the ambassadors
next week.
Louisiana
this weekend.
tourism.
Yeah, this
I
weekend.
think it's pretty good for him.
So I think with Sam, that could be an issue with, they may have, it could have been with the pandemic. It could have been they didn't know what to do with her. That happens a lot of times. Right. It's like, well, what do you mean I don't do with her? Do something, Or it could be, they just thought it was easier to get out of the deal. We don't really know. Right. But she had nothing but nice things to say about the experience. There was a lot of things. She had mentioned it. Everything else. One thing they are going to do, the Ryan and Kelly Encore Live is back. Yeah, where the top 9 contestants, you're going to be able to vote. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to be able to vote in a week or so. Which artist you want to see.
Starting the day after the finale.
To come back.
And then they come later.
And they come later in the week on the show and they perform.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting to see who's going to win that.
Yeah,
and
nice.
It could be anyone from there too. But back to who I think is going to win. Okay, right now at this moment, I think it's Willie. Mm-hmm. It's Willie's race to lose.
Right.
And the reason why I say with Willie, okay, I'm only talking not for myself. I'm just talking a pattern I noticed with viewers who vote for this show.
Right.
It seems like Willie, the teddy bear, the the big guy. Yeah. We like him. He reminds me of Ruben.
Right.
He sings so good.
Yes.
I think people are like, will vote for him.
Ready for the nostalgia.
Over voting for Grace.
Yes.
Usually when Grace is, a bigger girl.
It's
sometimes
not fair, and I don't know
it's why. It's not fair, but some people get very stereotypical.
Yeah.
And between the two, they would vote for the big guy than the big girl.
And I don't get it, too, because...
And the big girl is going to have the criticism. I shouldn't say big girl, because it sounds weird, but she's larger in size than what their average, with the...
what
the music stereotype has been. Where he'll go to the A&R guy, get told something different than she get told from the A&R guy.
It
happens with weight. It happens with country music. It happens with ageism. It's a lot of things that goes on, in all industries. And in real life.
Yeah.
So I think they may vote more than that. I think that could be the factor. They both can sing their butts off. But what people are going to relate to more between the two of them is good. I would love to be wrong on that.
Do you feel like people know Willie better than they know Grace? Do they feel that? They feel
that
her?
way.
Yeah.
But when you look at social media, another thing too that's pleasant to play, and a marketing person told me this a while ago, and I really didn't even agree with it until after it happened. The marketing person told me one time backstage at American Idol, I think the person who's going to win, it was the final season, is going to be Trent. And I said, Trent? I was like...
Yeah, the final Fox season of Idol.
Nothing against Trent. And I said, why do you think so? Is it his voice, his personality, and so on? And that marketing person told me, because he is the one out of the top, at that point there was still 5 contestants or 7, that is on social media the most.
Working, hustling,
he is
promoting
posted
himself,
on Instagram, posted on... Was Instagram out then? Posted on Twitter, posted on Facebook, putting, here's my video, here's this, here's that. And people were signing up, relating, or following him. And he was trying to tell the other contestants they need to do that as well. And some of them were like, oh, when I'm home, I'm tired, I got to do this. I got to get my songs together and everything else too. And when I look at American Idol people today, looking at it, when I was looking, each person was posting about their song. And the first person that posted about their song was Grace. She was the first person on Instagram. She was the first person on there. It was hours before the other 4 had posted anything. And finally, I was like, are they posting on Instagram and not Facebook and Twitter? Because you're 3. Or are they posted on one or the other? So that's why I think right now it's Willie's race to lose. However, as you said, WG. That's a pattern that I told somebody one time, and someone said, you're crazy. And then that person one day said, oh my God, I was going to talking to a friend of mine. We were trying to name American Idol winners, and we couldn't think of some in there. And then all of a sudden, that person mentioned, I go, yeah, you're right. All these people won.
Yeah.
People from the South do very well on the show. Yeah. It's a long time they can get a winner from the East.
Yeah.
I mean, winner from the West. Yeah. So you have to kind of look at that. Chase cannot be counted out. Right now, I have a guy going over 3 or 4. You cannot count a person like that.
Right.
He's a white guy with guitar.
Right.
Also, we have to look at...
And he's a singer-songwriter.
He's a singer-songwriter.
And a great song.
We also have to look at Caleb. Is that his name? Caleb. Caleb's votes are got to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Caleb's votes are going to go somewhere. If you look at last week's, we have Hunter and Arthur. Hunter's votes got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Hunter's votes are probably going to go
Chase or Casey.
to Chase. You know, I could be wrong. Hunter hasn't tweeted and said anything. Alyssa was the only contestant, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. Deshaun didn't say anything. Standard. Because that's a good luck, everybody. You know, blah, blah, blah. She was real sweet about it. Alyssa was like retweeting a couple things that Grace said. I know they were buddies when they were doing part of all that stuff too. So I'm thinking, did Alyssa supposed to go to Willie or did Alyssa supposed to go to Grace? Every time there was a picture, you always saw Deshaun, Willie, and Grace and Alyssa together. You could tell that you always see little pictures of them. Ain't the girl here? You know, they're all together.
Yeah,
so
everybody has their
friends. Everybody has their friends hang out with the guys. The three, the guitar guys all hang out. You see them. So I wanted to get that help the other two. But now the problem with Caleb being gone, his votes are going somewhere. His votes could very well be going to Chase. Half of them said they're not watching the show anymore. They're done. They're not voting or anything like that.
Who their votes would go to.
Some aren't going to watch it and vote. Some are going to watch it, see how they handle it. And some people say, I'm done with this show. I'm done. And then they watch it anyway. So, but the people who are still going to vote, or some people who don't know what happened, they're going to turn their TV on Sunday. Ryan's going to get on and say, Caleb's no longer in a competition, therefore there's only one person going home. Here's the top four. And you're going to be like, what happened? Right. You know, so big search is going to be on Sunday on that. And so is his votes going to go to Chase? Is that going to bring Chase the upper hand? Are people going to be more comfortable with Chase? They like him. He's a singer-songwriter. He's doing stuff. You know, people might be like, do the other three write songs?
Right.
Do they do their own music? Is that going to hurt him? Or you can't count Casey out.
No, you can't.
Casey's a teenager.
And she's great.
Teenagers have patience that will get on there and vote that they will go and do the sign on the internet, sign on the phone, do all 30 ways to do it.
She can sing.
Yeah.
She just chooses to sing different songs than Willie's voice.
And she sings rock songs. Yeah. So you got the rockers. I don't watch that show. And the more rockers, I have tons and tons. You know, I have a ton and tons of rocker friends. And every rocker friend I know was like, I don't watch American Idol, but they were watching it when James Durbin was on that show. Yeah. They were watching it when Caleb was on. Right. They tune in. Oh, I heard there's a rock chick on there. Right. People tune in for her. They tuned in when Casey sang the Motley Crue song. Motley Crue even mentioned it. You know, so right there, you got the people there. But are they going to watch it for 2 hours and have the patience and sit there and watch the whole thing and then put it up? They may or may not. Or
I kind of think they will.
Then you have a bunch of older people. I have a bunch of older people saying to me, I like Willie. Yeah. He can sing. Yeah. You know, I like Willie.
What I like is that people are invested in the people already.
And I like Grace. So either way, it's going to be a hard cut. And I think it's going to be close. Yeah. It's going to be a hard cut. But the way I feel today is that it's Willie's race to lose. Then again, there could be a big shocker. The top four is when you get a big shocker. Then again, I'm saying that now, but we have real-time voting. Yes. Real-time voting can change this whole thing. Number two, we're looking at a whole difference of a whole different time people watch the show now and get invested. That's what I'm saying. Back in the day, you had the calls overnight. It was like Idol crazy. Yeah. It isn't that much. It isn't Idol mania crazy. There's still Idol fans. Right. A lot of people said they didn't know Idol was on, but so I could be saying this whole thing and it could be completely wrong. Mm-hmm. There could be a shock boot. Yeah. They could say, what they should do, first person say the least suspected. Shake things up.
No, they always do.
Shake it up, no particular order. But I noticed the last couple of weeks, he keeps saying Casey first. People online are like, is she getting the most votes? He say her really, really quick.
In no particular order.
But it's no particular order. I don't think so. But I think he's going to say the name you least suspect first. Maybe shake things like up. Oscar nominations. Get people all
they do it in alphabetical order. So when they go,
but they do.
You go, so
you know already. Yeah, that's true. You go, that means so and so's not up. Yeah. But that's how I think. And that's the way I feel at the moment. Like I said, I could change it any second. Right. Right at this moment, looking at it.
That's what you just said.
Yeah. Just looking at it.
Couple of quick things.
Yeah.
While you're trying to think, American Idol got picked up for next season.
Yes, American Idol got picked up.
Now we're going to have season 20.
Yep.
Or season 5. So that'd be great. It'll be back on in the fall.
It'll be back on the fall. We don't know about the judges.
Not back on in the fall.
Back on in January, They'll start it in the fall.
January, February. Nice.
One thing they did mention, 3 small things. One thing they did mention, one thing they did mention was that they're going to be doing auditions soon and all that. Yeah. And
go to AmericanIdol.com.
Anyone can try out. Anyone's eligible as long as they fit the age range. Right. And as long as they didn't win the show. I don't know about the record deal or not. Sometimes you can't do it if you're already signed at 19 or whatever.
They did that because of the comebacks.
I think they did that because of the comeback.
Right.
And I think they did that because of the comeback, because they want to establish that thing and keep it guessing and all that. Don't know if that's such a good idea. Do you want to see people coming back 3 or 4 times to try it every year?
Okay. I don't mind if people come back and try out because that's life. People are going to audition, do whatever.
That's true.
What I don't like is that it's already prearranged or pre-established.
Exactly.
Bring the person back during Hollywood Week. See if they have what it takes during Hollywood Week, because they're going to switch something up again and all that kind of stuff. And let them go to the top 24 naturally like everybody else.
No, they should try out like everybody else.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, don't start 24, beginning auditions.
No, I said bring them back during Hollywood Week. Hollywood Week is like 106.
No, they'll make you audition to get to Hollywood.
Okay.
And I think they're doing that because... Yeah, I think they're doing that because all the shows in Europe, which is what they're basing it by, they did this whole thing where they have so many contestants come back on X Factor... Voice Australia. Yeah. You come back, they let so many come back. You audition from the beginning though. And you all that, and those people keep winning. So I think they really had this whole idea with this Arthur Gunn thing. I think they had this. It looked good on paper to them, and I think it failed. Yeah, I shouldn't say it failed. I think it wasn't as successful as they thought it was going to be. It got people talking. Yeah, it was like, but I think it got more negative talk than it got positive
like that
talk.
Thing with BB Rexa on The Voice. Remember, that was some kind of like they brought people back. Yeah, it was that. It was like that and it didn't work. And I went through every search to see, like Instagram, Twitter. So I just get a very idea. People were saying like on websites and boards. People were just not having it. Even some Arthur fans, like I liked him last year, but I don't think it's really fair. It's the way. It's not that he came back. It's the way he came back. That's why I said bring him in. It's not what you did. It's how you do it. That's one. Number 2, they have their singles. The 4 contestants have their singles. They were, we were told they're going to be performing them on the show. They're going to be doing 3 songs this week. All right. They're going to be doing Phineas, who you mentioned, who is the current producer of the year, the Grammy-winning producer of the year. So there you go. There you go. You got the Grammy-winning producer here. I don't think he's even 30 this week. No, he's like 25, something like that. Yeah, this week he's on there. They're going to be doing duets of 2 of his songs. That's cool. 2 of his songs, like Casey and Chase are together doing a duet, and Willie and Grace are doing a duet. Oh yeah, there's 4 left. Yeah, there's 4 left of his song. I know when they originally taped it, word is that they had a duo, then a trio. It was a duo to trio. I don't know if they're going to be taped the trio. Are you going to see clips of him talking all 5? They're going to be editing some tricky editing. I don't really know. They're supposed to be performing 3 times. They're supposed to be doing that, then the original song, and then a song. A song based on their hero, who they feel is their musical hero. Week? No, that was on their Mother's Day dedication. Okay, so you're saying this is their heroes. Like, my hero's Elton John, so I'm doing an Elton John song. Yes, Grace. Okay, that's what's been out. That's the Billboard published. Okay, for the thing. But then Grace was on Instagram Live, and she said she's doing a Demi Lovato song. Maybe she likes Demi Lovato. But her person was. Kelly Clarkson, a moment like us, moment in time. Kelly Clarkson song, I can't think right now. Yeah. I love this song. But she's gonna sing that. And then she's gonna sing Demi Lovato, and then this original. Then she said part of her original song, she said. And then the song with Phineas. She's made some. So I'm wondering. Oh, so maybe she's mashing. So I'm wondering, are they not doing the whole song so they can do the song in the last week? Because to me, I thought they would do the song not this week. I thought they would do it the last day they're competing. No, remember? That's usually when you do your original song. How many times did she sing that? Oh God, Cherry Tree. Yeah, and then Katie Turner. How many times did she sing the Ring of Fire? How many times? It wasn't Katie Turner. The Ring of Fire. It was another girl who wore the hat. But what did Katie Turner do? It doesn't matter. But anyway, I know what you mean, though. When they repeat the song over and over and over again, you don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah. You go on down memory lane. Then I check it. You go. It doesn't matter. No, I don't remember. I don't remember the song that. Just say you don't remember. I don't remember. I don't. Matter. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't remember the song that. I don't remember the song that she did, and you know why. Anyway. But you know. But the Ring of Fire girl. Exactly. That's my. I can't remember her name, but she did that so many times. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. How many times she was there. But
Cat McPhee's the perfect person.
Yeah.
Under the Rainbow, Cherry Tree.
Yeah.
But then again, Fantasia say that's all I do. Yeah, they sing it a lot.
I love hearing it every time in Fantasia.
I know. Can we get Fantasia coming to finale? Anyway, so that's that.
No, she's probably coming back after last year.
Oh, no, she's having a kid.
Oh, nice.
Fantasia's having a kid, so I'm pretty sure Fantasia's not down south. She's not coming back. But, so maybe they're only going to do a sparkle of it and whatever. I don't really know. That's what Grace said on her Insta story. I don't know.
Maybe she feels like it's just a part of it.
Or maybe they changed it. Maybe they changed it. Maybe they're going to play the video of the song.
I was going to say,
then they sing it next week.
It's probably a 3 or 4 minute single.
It's a production thing, yeah.
It's 90 seconds.
Anyway, so we'll find out on Sunday. But that's what she's singing. Willie is going to be singing Glory, John Legend for his hero. And then his original song, and then the song with Phineas.
ABC song kind of because it was on the Oscars. It won an Oscar. It's kind of like an ABC song.
Yeah, yeah. So you heard that Chase is doing Zach Brown Band.
Oh,
so you're gonna pick up country fans. Although that Zach Brown song isn't all country.
Yeah, but the band is.
Yeah. So that's that. So that's gonna be so you gotta think about those when they start doing the songs, like what song they're gonna do, what song they're gonna do, and Casey's doing Billie Eilish.
Oh, well.
For her song. And there you go. So that's going to be that. And then the singles they got produced, they had Tricky Stewart. Tricky Stewart produced Willie's song and Grace's song. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal. To have Tricky Stewart producing your song and working on your song and all this. And Phineas, Tricky Stewart, okay, we're talking, this guy is a part of Umbrella.
Wow.
Umbrella, which was, which is supposed to be for Britney, who turned it down and went to Rihanna. Single Ladies. Right there. Single Ladies. Can't get bigger than that. Baby Justin Bieber, if you want a pop song in there. Well, they're working with Tricky. You can't get any bigger than that. Them to score Tricky Stewart, that's major. So he's worked with the soul contestants. That's huge. Really, so that's where we're at. And then they just announced the last thing we'll talk, the finale.
Oh, right.
The finale is coming up. They got Leona Lewis. They got Sheryl Crow, Chaka Khan.
Yes.
Can't get any big Chaka Khan's coming. Lindsey Buckingham is coming.
Cool.
Lindsey Buckingham is coming. Macklemore.
Yeah.
Luke Combs. They're all coming. Some are going to be doing duets. Some are going to be singing singular. Looking at it, I'm hoping Chaka Khan is singing with Willie. I hope Leona Lewis is singing with Grace. I'm just guessing.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking. And I'm thinking Luke Combs is probably not going to sing with Chase. I'm wondering what Lindsey Buckingham's going to do. I'm hoping Lindsey Buckingham plays with Casey. I think she would lose it. She said one of her favorite bands is Fleetwood Mac. That's the first song she heard with her mom when she was like 3 or 4 years old. Her mom would play it all the time. So I'm like, that would be... I always kept saying, can we get Nikki Sitz and Tommy Lee down here to play with Casey for the finale? Get the pyrotechs going, get them down there, have Casey singing. They had weeks to do it back when they do it. That's, to me, it's a no-brainer. Tommy drive on in from the valley. Nikki move, but he could get him out like that. Would just be hot, but they are supposed to add some more people.
They got Lindsey Buckingham.
They're adding some more people.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's all you're going to hear. And the judges are going to sing their song. Luke will be performing this week. I take it I think Luke and Lane are last minute additions.
Could be.
Luke is doing his new single, Luke's doing his single and all that. So I think they added that to make up some time. But it's going to be an interesting. Oh, and the finale's like 3 hours long again.
Yeah.
So it's 3 hours long. So I take it they'll do it the same way they did before. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see what happens. But that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Who knew that this season was going to fly by so quick?
And they had so many people, these reality personalities where you're like, oh, I don't want to see her again. Oh, I don't want to see this person. Oh, I don't want to see this person. And it turned out
all those TikTok people were gone. Yep. TikTok gone. All I do know is I knew Casey and Willie and Grace were going to be in the top 5, and you called Chase.
Yeah.
You called all 4 of them.
I knew it.
You called all 4 of them. Yeah. I did not call Chase for the top 5. But He has an original tune, another original tune. It's called 23. It's called 23.
And that's what he is now, right?
It's called 23. He's a self-writer. No, it's a lyric. There's a really deep lyric where he says
23, right?
Where he says about 23 and being, on substance abuse, and now 24. Yeah. So it's a deep lyric. And I asked about his songwriting because I thought, this guy has an album ready to go.
Told you.
He has an album ready to go. He has songs out there.
All 4 of them
and
ready to go.
I'm looking at...
I'm like, come on, Tricky, have some more songs.
The way I look at he didn't work with Tricky, he worked with the other producer. But I look at my preference.
Come on, Tricky, have some more songs.
Yeah, but I look at people that I think, even if you're your preference or not, I always look at like talent and where I think talent should go. And I think if this guy right now, someone needs to do something with him. Do something with him. This is
probably an unfair question.
Don't let him out of there. Don't let him go back to Apple Valley without a thing.
Unfair question, probably. But do you think this year's talent is more ready to release an album, release a single than last year's? I say yes.
I say yes, too. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them got signed last year. Yeah. A lot of them got signed.
Well, they're songwriters, too.
A lot of them. In the year before, maybe if I had to pick the people that I would sign in the last 3 years, whether I like their type of music or not, I'm just saying from on the business record side of it, I don't know if I would have signed that many of them. And that sounds negative. There's some I would have signed.
They signed the management and development.
Yeah, there's some that I would have signed that didn't get signed at all. And there's some I wouldn't have signed.
That happens all the time.
But that is true. That always happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long their deals are. I don't know if they got what are the best ones, those one single deals.
One single deals.
You have one single. And then we'll decide we're going to put an album. That is a true story.
It's like a pilot.
That is a true story. You have one single. And you're out there busting your butt to get this one single. Yeah. And the artist would be like, oh, I'm so sure the single's good. Like, you don't understand. No, I'm saying, there is one single.
It's like the TV
We got to go to this.
You try it out.
We got to go to the Congo room, whether you want to or not.
And then they decide if they want to make a whole entire TV show. That's what this is.
I think it's because with the streaming. The streaming being so popular now, which, they don't want to take a chance on the records. And, they don't want to take... And then even though some of the older artists are like, I'm not making any records. Records aren't selling. I'm making my money where it's touring. And now...
So I'm excited for the last
there's no touring, so it's kind of thing.
That should be great.
Who knows? Will there be a tour? Will they try a tour next year? I said that they should do a tour for the first 3 seasons. I would mix them all together.
I wouldn't.
I would do a tour the first 4 seasons and mix them together, like The Voice used to do.
ABC has that development program, and I would work harder to get them into ABC shows, ABC products, ABC signature products.
That's true.
Work on that. I wouldn't do a tour.
That's true. Yep. Listen to Vanessa Williams and Girl.
I was like, listen to Phyllis Thomas. And I'm going off script here, but
you missed your calling.
There is a Girls 5 Ever.
You missed your calling.
Yeah, I did.
We could have used you.
Yeah.
You would have caught those samples.
Yes, I would have.
You would have caught those. You would have caught those songs were sample.
Yeah. Speaking of songs
that we didn't give writing credit to, we have to go back and find it before they find out. Speaking of songs, anyway, so that's American Idol. Speaking of songs, we have an original song for you.
Yes. But we got to give a shout out to our Twitters.
Yes.
If people want to talk to us,
where can we find you?
Anything, follow me, Phyllis_Thomas. Belinda, where can people find you?
You can find me at Belinda's LA Music, trying to get Motley Crue members down to Idol to see Live Wire Live with Casey. It's done.
Oh, God.
At Belinda's LA Music.
All right, Belinda's LA Music.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
You can find me there.
TVMusic Network's Twitter.
TVMusic Network for all past podcasts. We will be back to talk about who made the final 3.
Yes.
And what updates we have for the finale, and what's going on with everything else, and how the singles sounded, how we're doing.
Let's go.
Everything else. Alrighty. And how Phineas did, and all that. Anyway, closings out today. We have an original song. It's called Eden, from our good friends John Morgan and Dave Simiak.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
Bye.